सेमिनार है चार्ज का
Hi.
Shall we start, Shankar?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, fine then. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Myself, Usha. I'm the AVP Academics from Next Education. Hope everyone is doing well. I appreciate everyone for taking time and to join us for this session on leveraging micro and nano learning in competency-based education. Right. So this session is for you. So if you have any queries, yes, feel free to ask the questions at the end of the session. And in between, if you have, so you can raise your hands even. So let us move on to the session. Right. Now, this is the TOC where we are going to discuss about these pointers in our session, right? About micro, nano, and traditional learnings. How did they evolve? And the key differences between all these three. Then how does micro nano learnings align with this NEP 2020 goals? And then micro and nano learning, can they fill this learning gaps? Are micro nano learning transforming the education? How to create the powerful micro learning tool or an activity? Then what are the key steps in designing the effective micro learning modules and what challenges actually we face being an educators when we are designing this micro curriculum or micro learning tools. Now let us move on to the first one. So there is a question here. So we know that every time we start with a story. So instead, let me start with a question here. Now I hope everyone can see my screen. Hold up. Yes. Yeah.
गाइस, क्या आप 11 से कोई भी नंबर को 5 सेकंड के अंदर मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं? अगर नहीं तो देखिए, सबसे पहले
So can anyone say what is the answer for this within seconds? I can say it is 352. One more number.
352.
Yes, 352 is the right answer. Right. One more number. 45 into 11. 45 into 11. 495. Anyone got the answer? How? 45 into 11.
4 and 5 and add 4 and 4 plus 5, put it in the middle.
Right.
495.
Right. Right. So that is the answer. So this is what, yeah, let me play the complete
जो
video
नंबर दिया है
to
दिया
reveal
है
you.
उसे स्प्लिट कर दो, नेक्स्ट उसे ऐड कर दो एंड देन जो ऐड करके नंबर आया है उसे मिडिल पे बैठा दो। कमेंट करके इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिए। थैंक यू।
Now, you all know what are these. Can anyone say what are these videos from? Where are we getting it? Are these not TikTok videos? Hello? Yes? One second. One second, guys. Yeah. So if you see this, these are all TikTok videos which I have shown you just one sample. So you can see around 1 billion viewers. They serve these videos, and almost all these videos are less than a minute. Okay, and it has shaped the expectations for the engaging and focused content. And educators are even learning from this attention strategy without even losing the depth of the content. So this is where you can see maximum viewers per day. I can say more than 1 billion viewers are using per day. And the reason is what we'll see it in the next this thing. So can anyone say why are we means like more used to watching a video less than a minute or less than 5 minutes or less than 10 minutes, but not ready to watch something around 3 hours or a 5 hours
Attention
video?
span is very limited.
Yes,
Attention span is limited.
yes, very true, Habi. Yeah, that is the right answer. Attention span is very less. Yes.
It's
Anything else?
excitement. Excitement.
Yes, it's the excitement.
Excitement.
Yes, yes. So,
We
uh,
want
And
quick
it is.
results.
yeah, we want quick results. Yes. So prior to that, there is something that is happening in our brain, even that is actually grabbing that attention towards all this. So first thing I can say, it is the dopamine hormone. So it is nothing but a neurotransmitter, or I can call you in a simple term as a chemical. So here, when it is released, when you are watching something like videos, right, which is giving something like a pleasure or something, a new video which you are watching, then you will be enjoying it. This is what we call as a feel good hormone even. And this brain builds these strong memory links within the which is very much connected to that stories, or I can say videos, or it will create some experience regarding that, and that neural network is what you can see in our brain. So it builds that memory links. So the second one, what is actually promoting us to watch these videos is amygdala. So this is also a part of the brain where we can call it as an emotion center. So here, what happens is when you watch something funny or relatable or any shocking video, this amygdala tags it as an important and makes it you to remember that video or that experience. So this is also one more a part of a brain that is making us to watch such videos. And that is what I can say an emotion center. The third one is hippocampus.
Now,
So
can
what
you
is
repeat that word?
amygdala? A,
Amygdala.
yes, right. The third one is the hippocampus. So here, what is this is what we call as a memory center. So here, if a video is repeating, the hippocampus helps to store it more effectively. So that is what happens with the third part of the brain, which I have been saying. The next one comes with your prefrontal cortex. That is this part of your brain, and even the parietal lobes also, which I can say this part of this, which is I can say just above the earlobes. So here what happens is when you are, this is more related to attention and even focus. So here what happens, it is more hooked to the short burst when you are watching videos. So, and it is very, I think I can say less than 30 seconds, or it can less than 1 minute. This is what we call short burst. In that case, what happened, you will be more hooked to, and your focus would increase. So this is what I'm saying, more related to attention and focus. You are more attentive and focused when you are watching such videos. The next one is mirror neurons. For example, if I started yawning, then you also would start yawning. So that is where our mirror neurons would be activated. And this is what happens like when you watch these videos, right? So a small a dance move, when you're watching that, you will start doing that. So that is where your neurons, your mirror neurons are activated, and it makes you too easy. It make it easier to I mean to say perform the same activity or repeat the same activity. So this is about how I can say these short videos are impacting us in learning things faster, and at an, I can say, as per the pace of the learner even. Now moving on to the next one.
गाइस, क्या आप 11 से कोई भी नंबर को
Yes. So this is about the TikTok videos which I'm speaking about, where the viewers are more than 1 billion. And the main reason is it is more engaging and the content is focused. So whatever we want, that is what we are getting it within minutes and within seconds. And coming to this, the topic of micro learning. So how is it connected to what we are saying today is what you can see in the table format. And here, when it comes to the size analogy with respect to, I can say, this is related to this digital technology, or we can say with respect to the database, we speak in this terminology like kilobytes, bytes, and megabytes. So here micro learning is more of kilobytes, I can say. Nano learning is more related to bytes, and traditional classroom learning is more related to megabytes or gigabytes. When it comes to media, like the way you're watching the YouTube videos, the way we have seen it right now from an TikTok video. So this is where a YouTube video, which is around 5 minutes or 5 to 10, we can consider that is more like a micro learning video. or a tutorial. And nano learning is where it is less than 3 minutes. It is, I can say, less than 1 minute, 2 minutes, even 3 minutes, even 30-second video also will go into it, or just a simple flashcard, or just an image, or we can say it can be a small activity, even hands-on even. And the traditional is where we occupy 45 minutes of our lecture or a session or a period. Next comes with your learning analogy. So this is where we can say where in a micro learning, we try to cover a concept with not more than 2 to 5 LOs at a time. That is where we are covering a 5 minutes video of that particular concept. I'll show you some examples even. So here when you see in this nano learning, you can see we are not covering more than one learning objective. Okay, and coming to the traditional is where we'll complete the full lesson. It can be 15 minutes with followed by a video, and again followed by whatever we are going with the textbook, or it can be blackboard teaching, etc. Now coming to the next one. So how did micro, nano, and traditional learnings evolve? So if you this, how it gets started, you can see micro learning, it developed from learning psychology. So in that, Skinner, John Sweller, and Theo Hagen, Norman Friesen, these are the three, I can say, renowned personalities who worked upon this micro learning, and that is how it came into existence. Now coming to Skinner, he introduced the idea of programmed learning. So where learners progress through small steps with instant feedback. So here, small bits and pieces of information is given, and so step by step is what the learning is happening, and instant feedback. So when you are learning in 2 minutes video, then there is a feedback given, followed by again 2 minutes video, then again you will get the feedback. So this is where the content has been planned, and this is what you call as a programmed learning, which has been introduced by Skinner. And the second person is John Sweller. He's a cognitive learner. So he is the one who put forward this cognitive learn theory. And people are saying about the attention span, and people have said about in short, they want to learn many things. And the main reason for all of this is about this cognitive load theory, where cognitive is nothing but your brain. So brain can process the information in small chunks, but not in, when you give so much of information, it gets exhausted. It will not be stored. So this is what we spoke regarding this hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, or this hormone called dopamines, or this amygdala, or the other one. What did we discuss about the last one? Mirror neurons. So all these are coming into process when you are trying to process the information. I mean to say, when you take any experience, it can be a video, it can be an audio, it can be a podcast, whatever. When you are going through it, when you are experiencing it, so the information will be stored when it is for a short period. But when the same thing is going for hours, obviously. Okay, so yes, I think you can. So this is how we have discussed about already the John Sweller, that is cognitive load theory. Brain process the info better in small chunks rather than the huge information. Now coming to the last one is Theo Hig and Norman Friesen in 2000s. So where he defined the micro learning as short, focused, activity-based learning designed to teach one concept at a time, and is mainly used in the e-learning tools in the corporate training. So like an e-learning like what you call PPTs they would be giving, so that they get explored. Earlier we used to have the HR department who used to train the entire team, but now it is straight away the PPTs or the e-learning tools or books are given for them. So they go through it, they surf through it, and they get an mastery or an expertise. So this is where actually the definition or the micro learning has been introduced by this Theo Hug and Norman after the Skinner's and John Sweller's whatever I mean to say developments. And coming to this here, as we said, micro learning is more of a short, focused, activity-based learning. Okay, so this can be, as I said here, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, not more than that. 15 minutes is still fine, but not more than that. So here we are teaching one concept at a time. It's not like we are teaching 5 concepts or 10 concepts at a time. And again, one concept might be having 3 to 5 learning objectives even. Now coming to the nano learning. So it is evolved. in 2010 as a compressed version of micro learning. So here there is no one who has developed this nano learning. As and when this micro learning has been introduced, and you can see that with Gen Z. Okay, so that is where the digital, I mean to say, a platform has been emerged, and these youngsters are, I can say, they're growing along with the digital platform, and they've been used to using all this. I mean to say compressed versions of micro learning. So this is the place where they're learning more things in a span of less time. So here I can say it is evolved in the 2010 as a compressed version of micro learning. So no single founder, there is no, I can say, a person who has evolved or has developed this. It rose from the demand for faster, focused content. So it has, I can say, it has evolved from this micro learning. And popular on mobile apps, like you can say our NG app, it can be our Next OS app, Khan Academy app, or even social media like YouTube, Shorts, it can be TikTok, Facebook Reels, etc. Coming to the workplace tools, it is mainly used in the corporate trainings as a small chunks of information. If there is anything update happening in any technology or anything, instead of giving just one 8 pages or 10 pages ka content, people are trying to incorporate in short videos. So this is how the nano learning is about. Now coming to the traditional classroom learning, I think everyone knows about it. We don't need to give any introduction here. So this is about the ancient oral traditions and one-to-one teaching, that is from teacher to student or student to student. That is where peer learning happens, or it can be online also straight away. And formalized centuries ago into school systems. This has been embedded into our education system and structured through schools and universities. It evolved through textbooks, chalkboards, and direct instruction methods. This is what actually we are following right now. And I know people have integrated even this and this into their curriculums. Now coming to the next slide, now what is it? Now what is means what is the definition of micro or nano learning? When you see here, these are short lessons of 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that. It covers 2 to 3 clear learning objectives, concept or a skill in a short time. And here what do we use as an multimedia tools? It can be videos, it can be slides, it can be quizzes, it can be infographics and flashcards. Right now coming to nano learning, we can say these are very short content, which I can say less than 3 minutes, and it delivers one learning objective, quick idea or a concept, sorry, fact or a step. So here flashcards, tips, or it can be 1 minute video. So it only depends here, the same videos, same multimedia content can be used here, but the time matters. Now coming to the traditional classroom learning, it is a full length lesson where I can say it is 35-minute session where it is covering and broader topics. And here they use mostly oral discussions, which we call it as a lecture method, textbooks and exams. Now coming to why is it needed? Right, so it is needed mainly, as one of the ma'am said, regarding this shorter attention span, diverse learners, because learners are no more like audio learners. Now they are like, I can say, visual learners, kinesthetic learners, and they can say multi-learners, and ideal for mobile flexible learning. So here, this is more ideal for this mobile flexible learning, where everyone has the gadgets, and at whatever time they want, that is where they want to learn the things, and matches the digital shift. Because here, as I said here, Gen Z, these are the kids who are the youngsters who are growing with the gadgets, so they are more, I mean, I can say, at a faster pace when compared to us in terms of exploring the new, whatever I mean to say is, it can be content, it can be experiences, it can be technology. Now coming to the nano learning. So these are very short content videos, which is less than 3 minutes. Yes, delivers one learning objective, quick idea, as we already discussed this. Yeah, here we are. People need instant answers, help or reminders while doing a task. So this is what I can say, just like an revision or a remedial measure. So they got stuck at some place, so just want to go and come back. So that instant answers is what they're looking at. So they want a less than 1 minute video. So that is where they go with this, and helps during the task for quick answers. As I said, they want to find an answer for a meaning of that. So that is where they go it here. So ideal when there is very little time to learn. So I can say just before the exam, or just before doing something that they want to explore. Maybe they are doing something hands-on, they want to have a gist of that. So that is where this nano learning tools or materials would be of handy. Now coming to the last one, that is traditional. It provides the deep understanding which is not possible in any of these two tools, and supports step-by-step progression. Okay, and in micro learning it is possible provided the teachers does that in that proper progression, aligning the content. This is what we are going to show in the next couple of slides. So here it supports step-by-step progression. I hope it is clear till now. Can we proceed to the next slide? Yes, someone raising a hand. Yes, tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Coming to the next one. Yes. Oh, yeah. So coming to the next one is regarding the benefits. So here when I say micro learning, it is more engaging, digestible. The reason is you will be able to interpret and you will be able to register that content, and accessible anytime, anywhere in your mobiles, because it's of less capacity. I mean to say, it's not in GBs, it is in MBs or KBs. Then boost the memory and retention. That is the main advantage of this. Works on phones, tablets, or computers. So that is about the benefit of this micro learning. Now coming to the nano learning, here it saves the time, because I don't need to go through the complete 10 minutes or 15 minutes video. I just need that whatever answer I want. So I'll be going straight away to that video. Great for reminders or quick how to's, is something like small how to do things. Then highly mobile friendly. Coming to the last one, traditional, offers deep coverage, real-time feedback, encourages discipline and interaction. So the teacher does this thing so that it should go from simple to complex, known to unknown, and she even clears the doubt. That is what happens in a physical classroom. So here is where actually how is it happening with respect to, it can be entertainment, it can be social media, it can be education. But how can we use these tools into our curriculum so that we can make our whatever traditional teaching into the conventional teaching, into a modern teaching, is what I just want to emphasize here. Now coming to the next one, limitations. So coming to the limitations of micro learning, is not ideal for deep or complex topics. So if you want to learn peripheral at a peripheral level, so this is the best one. But you want to go into depth of that content, so obviously this is not the right one. So maybe feel disconnected if they're not planned. If the concepts are not planned properly, because we call it as modules, module 1, module 2, module 3, this is what you are supposed to cover maybe in this topic, so that you become a master in that particular expertise or subject. And here is nano learning, too short for new learners, because if the learner doesn't have a knowledge of it at all, so if he's going through the video, then he will not get any head or tail of that, so he will be lost. So it can oversimplify and often needs the follow-up. So he need a video, again, a second video of that which explains that, or it can be a prerequisite knowledge required to explain that. Maybe a post video of that is also required to get the complete gist of it, which where he feels been lost. The last one is about the traditional, where we can say less flexible, time consuming, not ideal for fast-paced learners. So here in these two cases, we can say fast-paced learners, but again, here we have I can say a cons of it, a disadvantage of it. And here, it is not ideal for the fast-paced learner, because the teacher goes, this is what we call inclusive education, where it is meeting all the needs of the learner, but not specifically any one particular group. Next, best use cases. Learning a new skill in steps, employee training, language or test preparation, and revisions. So when it comes to here, best use cases, here, learning a new skill. So it can be maybe swimming, or it can be dancing, or it can be skating. Anything, any skill can be learned in step by step, because they will be like as I said, module 1, module 2, module 3. And employee training also will happen in the same way, because they will be given somewhere around 20 to 30 videos or short videos of that, or tools of that. So the employee will be going it day by day and getting mastery upon the complete whereabouts about the company and the project he is working upon. Now coming to the third one, language or test preparation and revision. This all everyone knows about it. You want to master a language, or you want to take a revision of any of this is where you can go ahead. But not straight away learning. But again, if it is in I mean to say higher grade, it can be 15 minutes. But if it is a lower grade, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, not more than that. I can say pre-primary. When it comes to preparatory stage, it should be around 5 to 8 minutes, not more than that. Coming to nano learning. So here it's a quick review, in-app guidance. And so here you can see just a summary. You want to just go through a summary of that concept. So this is the best 1 minute video, less than a minute video. And in app also, you'll be having some tutorials, short tutorials, where it will give a complete picture of that app. That is also happening through nano learning tools or nano learning materials, we call it as. Flashcards or 1 minute videos. Now coming to the traditional core subjects, then we have concept building, projects, labs, and formal assessments. So coming to the last part, that is about evaluation. So here we do this micro assessment, because we are going with this micro learning materials. So obviously we'll use quizzes and reflection questions. Reflection is nothing but your observational questions after to just check their understanding of whatever content you have taught it in the classroom, or self-checks after each check. So self-checks also you can give it after each concept. So helps learners track their progress and stay engaged. And now coming to the nano learning, so here instant checks like polls, or you can give some prompts. Okay, so this is how thumbs up or thumbs down you can ask in that session, or it can be a video. Some interactive small tools can be used. Reinforces the micro concepts quickly. So whatever it has been taught, that can be reinforced by using a short video plus an followed by an interactive exercise. And then here you have structured test, assignments, and teacher feedback also. Formal grading and long-term mastery tracking is also seen here, which you already know. I don't need an explanation here. Now, this is a puzzle for you. So here we can see all the mirror images of what we have discussed so far. It can be the different tools, which I would not have covered in the previous, but you all have been using them on day-to-day basis. So I want everyone to unscramble this and just tell me what is the unscrambled word and what is the learning type, whether it is an micro or a nano or a traditional learning method. Yes, the first one is quiz. Sanu, right?
Quiz.
Quiz, right? Yes. So what is the learning type of that?
Second one is flashcard.
Yes. So what is the answer for this? Let us finish off this way. So this is quiz. Do you understand? Do you agree?
Micro learning.
It's a micro learning technique.
Right. It's a micro learning technique. What about this flashcard?
Nano learning.
Nano
Very
one.
right. Nano learning tool. Right. What about this?
Textbook.
Right. Textbook.
Traditional.
It's a
Traditional.
traditional learning method. What about this app?
Micro learning.
Micro.
It's a micro learning. What about this?
Video.
Yes, it can be both
Micro.
micro
and
and
nano.
micro and right. What about this?
Chapter.
Capture.
Very good.
Chapter.
Chapter. So chapter, where do you follow?
Traditional
Traditional
learning.
learning.
Traditional, yes, where we take an hour or 2 hours, sometimes even 3 hours, we take even 0 hour and we try to complete one chapters. If something like the information is very generic, like an ecosystem or a forest or a pollution, we don't need to take and I mean to say 3 or 5 days or 10 working days. Instead, we try to complete by taking up even the 0 hour. What about this?
Flexible.
Flexible. So where do we use this? It's not a resource actually, but it is a feature.
Both nano and micro.
Both nano and micro, right?
And,
Yes.
both three of them you can use.
Yes.
You can use both
Podcast.
Podcast.
three. Podcast.
Yes.
This is my
Yeah, yeah.
nano.
But
Nano.
flexibility,
Nano.
yes, podcast is, it can be, yeah, see, podcast
Micro
again, it
also.
varies because it can be 5 minutes, it can be 1 minute, it can be 30
Can
seconds.
be
So it can be
on
accommodated in both.
Discussion.
Can be used in three.
Discussion.
Discussion, mostly in
Traditional
Nano
learning.
traditional, yes. What about this?
Traditional.
Animation.
Animation.
Animation
Yes,
is nano.
nano, micro, it all depends upon the
Nano,
video length. Video
you
length.
can.
Yeah, if it is an 1 minute or 30 seconds, we can say nano. If it is a 5 minutes video or a 10 minutes video, I can call it as an
Macro. Macro.
micro. Right. Now, what is this?
Animation. Animation.
Infographic.
Yeah, infographic. Very true. Yes. Where does it fall? Again, based upon the timing. It can fall in any of this. What is this?
Module.
Modules.
Okay.
Nano and
Modules
micro
also
learning.
micro learning, but because most of the, I mean to say, corporate companies use these modules for training their employees. So which will be not less than, I mean to say, 3 minutes. What about this?
Chart. Traditional.
Chart, right? Traditional. Yes.
Game.
Game,
Depends
gamified
on
learning.
time.
Yes, it all depends whether the teacher can use it. It can be traditional, it can be digital, so it can go with micro learning even and traditional even. What is this?
Slide.
Yeah, it is single slide, a static image, I can say, where you can use it in mostly in nano learning. Right. Good. I hope everyone is following. Yeah, these are the answers. You have said it well. So let us go on to the next one. So how does micro and nano learnings align with this NEP 2020 goals? So answers are already here, but I want someone to answer this, because everyone by now would know what is NEP, what is CBE, that is competency-based education. We would have been following the competencies and the curricular goals. Last time in my session, I have shown you about these competencies which has been given subject-wise, and what are the curricular goals like CG1, CG2, CG 1.1, 1.2, that way. Some are related to subject and some are something like mostly related to skill sets. Okay, skills like doing something like an origami model, or doing something like a hands-on activity, or it can be a role play or a skit event. So that the skills like communication, collaboration, and what the way we call it as 21st century skills, so that also they want to master. Yeah, anyone? Yes, anyone can answer this, because the answers are ready-made and either seen on the screen. And by now I know everyone knows about CBE. No? Yes?
Increased vocational
I
training, ma'am.
Yes, come again.
It increased vocational training.
Yes, it increases the vocational training is something like where, apart from the subjects, apart from whatever curriculum that we are doing it. See, the reason for even doing this vocational training is, if there is a student, maybe a dropout at grade 8th or grade 10th, right? He is not able to sustain anywhere, because what happens is, due to financial crisis, when a student is getting dropped out at grade 8th or grade 10th, he is getting lost. He cannot get a job because he doesn't have any of the experience of industry or any of the tools even. He's just learning. That is the reason that vocational courses are coming into picture. So the student becomes an all-rounder at any point of his, I mean to say, academic years. He, at any point there is a dropout, he can stand on his feet by taking up any of this, whatever training he is. It can be an what we call welding, it can be a carpentry, it can be a tailoring, it can be, all these are, what is it coming, even that what we call it as pottery and tailoring, all these curricular activities are coming into picture, what we are calling as co-scholastic skills. So that is, and I can say, an additional one which is actually bridging the gap between what you are teaching in the textbook to what is it actually happening in the industry. It's not like I want a student to take a carpentry or a tailoring job. These are the add-ons that they need to have it. Along with, again, in this also there are something like technical expertise, like machine welding, or like what the industrial that you can correlate to, maybe mechanical or engineering, or those also the student is getting explored to. That is what actually the Ministry of Education is actually expecting us to integrate this vocational education. But this vocational education is not meant to master this. I mean to say, it is not been mastered through micro or nano learnings. It can be, but they want that kinesthetic skills there, where they want to make the students feel that do it, and then like the way we do the hands-on activities, right? That way the student need to explore those vocational courses. It's not like just like an, I can say, an online tutorial. Right, now coming to, let me come back. Yeah, your answer is correct, but the way we need to use it for vocational learning, I hope it should be a mix of kinesthetic plus again an online video tutorials. Now coming back to this, how does micro and nano learning align with NEP 2020 goals? The first one is competency-based education. So we set the specific learning outcomes. So as I said here in the start itself, that each whatever macro learning or this thing nano learning, it should cover around a concept or a learning objective. So in the concept of micro learning, whatever we are covering around 5 minutes video, which is around 4 to 6 learning objectives you cover. When it comes to nano learning, you are covering only one learning objective, right? A short video. So here the learning outcomes or the learning objectives matters a lot. So here we are emphasizing, because competency based education is actually focusing on competencies or skills. So given in the form of competency, that is curricular goals, even CG1. I'll last time I have shown you, let me show you again. So this is a slide that you can see. You can check here. This is the competencies and these are the curricular goals. Okay. CGs are the curricular goals and these are the competencies that you can see. And you can see this is what actually the CBE is about. One thing is about the skills. So one, you can see explain the functioning, use the local methods to create simple objects, family envelopes on their own display or use in classroom. So these are the different things which you can see that we have been mapped to our chapter somewhere or the other. Okay, this is what we are calling about this competencies and the curricular goals. And coming back to our slide, right. Right. Now, this is what we are saying about the competency-based education, where we are focusing upon not only on the content, but upon the skill set, even the competencies. And the second one is flexibility and tech integration. So promote the use of technology to provide adaptable learning experiences, aligning with the micro learning's digital nature. So here, why do we say flexible? As per the pace of the learner. For example, the learners can go with a normal speed of that whatever video when the teacher is displaying it in the classroom. Or if the student, if she feels that the students, whatever, they are very bright, above average, and they're high achievers, obviously you can go with normal is what we call it as speed at 1. Okay, we can go at 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, even 2 also. That is what we call the playback speed. Or if you feel like you are in a session or you are in a class with the low achievers, so then still you can go with that flexibility is also there in this, I mean to say, tutorials in the videos. So that is where flexibility and tech integration. So these two is where we can make an advantage or use of it. And coming to the next one is personalized learning. As per the pace of the learner, as per the needs of the learner, we can give the content. So for example, if you feel like student like the way if I differentiate, I'm not supposed to, but still, if you differentiate as high-end achievers and medium achievers, high achievers, if you feel like you can just go with an audio lecture or a podcast, that would be fine. But when it comes to an medium achievers, obviously you need something like an audio plus video plus kinesthetic even. Okay, so that is how the personalized learning approaches, you need to tailor it as per the needs of the learner. Now coming to the next one, addressing the learning gaps and remedial learnings. Now here, as we know, micro lessons, we are using it for the revisions. Okay, and when it comes to nano, we are using for remedial measures, as when you have an concern or you have a problem with that, or you have a problem with understanding that, you just go back as a reinforcement or as a remedial measure, you use it and then come back. And quick test for the feedback and adjustment. So this is where I can say it can be a micro assessment, it can be a nano assessment also, depending upon the type of whatever assessment that you are using. That too, it should be like frequent here, and here it can be just a poll method. Okay, just thumbs up, thumbs down, not detailing. Now coming to this, are micro and nano learning transforming the education? I can say yes. The reason is their attention friendly design, competency based outcomes, because you can map one or two learning objectives. You can yourself create those videos as per whatever learning outcomes or objectives you have planned for. Flexible lifelong learning. Okay, so because it's not getting overloaded, as per the pace of the learner, we can go ahead and the student can even go through it. NEP's 2020 is learner centered vision, even that to uh, go use this digital platform or digital technology, integrating the digital content into the classes. Now coming to the assessment, we already have done puzzle. This is one more. Let us explore it. So how can micro or nano learning complement traditional learning? Can anyone give the answer for this?
By supporting revision, reinforcement, and bite-sized practice.
Right. Because here, by replacing all textbook, no, that is a traditional one. By being the only one method needed for all the subjects, no. By focusing only on theory, not application, no, because we want to focus on both of them, even application part of that also. So theory means where you can teach straight away with an AB module, with an digital content, with a 2D or 3D animation, or whatever is available on YouTube. But application part is where you need to do some activity. That activity also, either you can demonstrate in the classroom, or you can show that as a video even, right? So the answer is by supporting revision, reinforcement, and bite-sized practice, which is a small video. Next, which of the following best explains why micro-learning is effective for modern learners? What is the answer?
It's learning into short focus units that match short attention spans.
Yes, that is the answer, because it involves long lectures and proper deep concentration. No, that is where our traditional method is going on. It divides learning into short focused units that match the short attention span. It eliminates the need for multimedia or interactivity. No, it focuses only on passive learning, like reading textbooks. So passive learning is what happens actually in the classroom, because the student will go into a passive mode where he would not be listening, he would be staring at us. Okay, so that is where we go, and again he'll come back. So the in between, the some information he would be lost. So that connectivity is where he would be lost to just understand what you have been continuing and giving that information in the classroom. Now coming to the next one, how to create powerful micro learning. So you yourself, being the teachers and the educators, can create it. Right now, till now, we are speaking about the TikTok or the social media or in the YouTube, where we have all these videos available, where as we are exploring, we want to explore more, experience more regarding the information, day-to-day activities that is happening in the, it can be industry, it can be entertainment. So we are exploring them. But again, we can transform the education provided we are incorporating these micro learning tools into our curriculum. So here the 7 pillars of this MACVISE approach is given, which can be incorporated in when we are designing any of this content. So here one is motivation, the second one is activity, concretization, variation, individualization, socialization, and evaluation. Now coming to what each one is. If I say that the first one is about the motivation. So motivation is nothing but motivating the students. I'll just show you a video of this so that will be more clear. Yes. So first, let me give an just brief introduction of this, and then we can move on to that. Coming to motivation here, we are actually motivating the student and sparking the curiosity and the interest at the beginning of the lesson. So that is about motivation, where I can say it is sparking the learner's interest as well as the curiosity in the beginning of the session. Now coming to the second one, that is activity. So what is this activity about? So this activity is about the encourage the active participation. So where I can say learning by doing rather than just listening or reading. So that is about this activity, okay, where we are involving the learners in doing something and not just listening or reading the information. Now coming to the next one is concretization. Now what is this? So this is about where you can say the information is more of abstract information, whatever we are teaching. So that what happens is, so there we need to use more of visuals, or it can be real life examples or simulations or manipulatives, so that the student can grasp the knowledge and he can even connect to the maybe the prior or prerequisite knowledge that he has learned in the previous grade or previous chapters. So that is about concretization, where I'm saying it should be the abstract information what the students, what you are teaching in the classroom, it should be tangible, it should be relatable, and again use some connection, like it can be simulations, it can be manipulatives, it can be real life examples, etc. Now the next one is about variation. Now, what is this variation? So variation is nothing but about giving different learning styles to the students. Like it can be an AB module, it can be an activity, it can be something like a group discussion, group work. Okay, so this is where we need to give an variation. So it's not all the time we go with only AB modules, because that is where it creates a monotony to the student and he would be lost. So to avoid that is what we are creating different learning styles as per the learner's pace and frequency. Now coming to the next one is individualization. Now what is this? So here we are addressing the different students with respect to their pace and abilities. So as we know that there would be variations with respect to the students' paces and abilities. So here we need to give, as per the diverse needs of the student, we need to give the learning outcomes being mapped, and accordingly we need to design which content should we give, and which type of resource should we implement, or I mean to say implement it in the, I mean expertise or use it in the classroom. Now coming to the next one is socialization and collaboration. Now this is where we can say leverage the peer interactions to deep understanding. So here it's not all the time we are teaching to the student. The student also should come forward and give a seminar, maybe one or two chapters, which is very generic. You don't need any technical explanations in that. Maybe pollution chapter, as I said earlier, or a forest chapter. You can ask that student saying that this chapter, maybe you can give a week's time, saying that this chapter should be dealt or should be discussed in the classroom or should be given as a seminar or a symposium. So that way you can just give it. So that is where I can say socialization and collaboration will come into picture. So student would be like enhancing their dialogues, their cooperation and their feedback given. That is where they will move to the next level. So this is where we need to give pair work or group discussions or peer reviews, etc. So we can engage the students by giving any non-technical chapter and asking them, give a week's time. Okay, and tell them that next week this is where everyone should take up a topic, and tell them that the topic should not be repeated. So they will collaborate among themselves, discuss that I'm going to take up this, you can take up this way. So there will not be any repetition, and the entire chapter would be I mean to say discussed, or it is demonstrated by the students themselves. Okay, the last one is about evaluation. So this is where we can use different types of
Ma'am,
yes.
can I ask in English, can I ask the child to explain the paragraph
Yes.
you're teaching
See,
kind of things?
I mean to say you can straight away ask them to discuss. For example, there is a chapter on pollution, right? So you can
Okay.
tell them, one can take the causes of pollution, the other one can take the maybe measures or how to control pollution. The
Control
other
the
one can
pollution.
take up soil pollution, maybe about the causes. The other one, so this way they will distribute among this thing. We should not even tell them. That is where the communication and collaboration will come into picture. They will organize among themselves. Maybe you have 4 groups: blue, red, green, and yellow. So you can tell them, like, blue group will take up water pollution, maybe red group they'll take soil pollution, then again you have noise pollution, and then air pollution. You can distribute four this thing among all the 4. So at least I can say not everyone can come up or come forward to do the session. At least there will be some, I can say, in each group you can see 3-4 participants coming forward. The next time you just encourage the next students to come forward.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah. That is how we can do this. I mean to say seminar or a symposium or a debate also we can, or a discussion also can be encouraged in the classroom.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Right. Right. Now here there is a video on this.
MACVISE framework. Topic: States of matter. Motivation.
Now, whatever we have discussed till now, like with respect to this micro learning tools, right? This is what you can see here with respect to this MACVISE: motivation, as I said here, and then activity, concretization, variation, individualization, socialization, and evaluation. So these all is what you can see in the format of a video, where we are explaining how to motivate the student by taking any example, and what activity can you conduct in the classroom. So maybe motivation you can do by just asking them, I hold an ice cube in my hand, what happens to it after a couple of minutes? Then activity, you can ask them to do small activity there, maybe take 3 bell jars and then place items into it to demonstrate that this is a liquid, this is a gas, or this is a solid. And then concretization, that is where you are giving the conclusion of the theory or drawing the theory from that. And variation is different types of learners, how are we going to address. Okay, and individualization, so each student, how are we going to address. And then socialization, collaboration, some group activity we can give. And coming to evaluation is where some questionnaire that you are going to ask at the end of the whatever micro learning material that you have used. So this is what I'm going to show you a demonstration of that.
Spark curiosity. MACVISE framework. Topic: States of matter. Motivation. Spark curiosity. Show a melting ice cube. Ask, where did the ice go? Let students guess. This introduces the concept of changing states.
Yes, Peter. Yeah.
A. Activity. Get learners involved. Distribute a worksheet or flashcards with items like juice, rock, steam, and balloon. Ask students to sort them into solid, liquid, or gas. C. Concretization. Make it relatable. Use 3 jars labeled solid, liquid, and gas. Put marbles in the solid jar, water in the liquid, and blow air into a balloon for gas. Explain how particles behave in each state. V. Variation. Keep it engaging. Play a short video about states of matter. Then lead a gesture game. Freeze for solids, flow for liquids, float for gases. I. Individualization. Support all learners. Offer task choices. Advanced learners explain how water exists in all 3 states. Others match pictures to the correct state. S. Socialization. Learn through talk. Air students for a guessing game. One gives clues, like it flows but takes the shape of its container. The partner guesses the state. E. Evaluation. Check understanding. Give a short 3-question quiz. Then ask students to list 1 solid, 1 liquid, and 1 gas on an exit slip.
Right. I hope it is clear. Do you want to play me one more time, or is that okay? If it is clear, we'll go on to the next slide. If it is not, you want to just have one more time, I mean to say repetition of this as an, right? I hope it is clear. Can we move on to the next slide? Yes.
MACVISE frame.
Right. So this is about where you can check, as I said here, motivation. That is where the sparks the learner's interest and curiosity at the beginning of the lesson. You can use real world connections, questions or challenges or storytelling even. Motivation improves the attention and engagement and retention, memory retention of whatever we are going to, I mean to say, demonstrate in the classroom or discuss in the classroom. Coming to the next one is activity. So it encourages the active participation and include interactive tasks like problem solving, matching, quick writing, etc. Learners learn by doing rather than just listening. And concretization is where I said more of abstract information. So that is where we need to use all these multimedia tools, and so that the student can grasp the complex concepts by linking them to the prior knowledge. Now coming to the next one is about variation, where the student have different learning styles. So as per that, we need to use the resources. And to avoid the monotony is where we cannot go with one. We need to go with the multiple resources. Coming to the next one, individualization is where here, if you see, we have seen different things. One is doing the jumbling of the cards. The other one is doing a pair up activity where one student is saying that you can pour water into this thing. So the other student need to guess. So that is liquid. This is where it is happening with respect to this the task being assigned. The next one is socialization and collaboration, where we can give different types of activities. And the next one is the last one is the evaluation. So now coming to what is this? So here, when we are designing any micro learning tools or learning resources, it can be AB module, it can be an activity, we need to take care of this web event. Now, what is this web? So here, the content is being designed and you need to understand what is your target group. Target group in the sense like your age appropriateness of the student is what you take care of. Okay, so you cannot give, I mean to say, a complex video to an maybe pre-primary. Okay, and you cannot give an easy video to an high school level students or an middle age group students, or you cannot give, I mean to say, very hefty video or too technical video to a preparatory stage students. So that is what the target group is, what you need to decide to whom are you giving this content or the resources. The next one is learning outcomes. As I said initially, this is the first one that you need to set. Okay, when I say first is the content, in that content, what is the learning outcome that or the learning objectives you need to be clear with. The next one, you should be clear with the target group, that is age appropriateness. And then what pedagogy are you using? Is it an inquiry based or an inductive or a deductive or a constructive approach, or it can be a problem solving approach? So all this is what you need to be clear with, because when I want to say a definition of photosynthesis, I'll just go with one static image. That is what I call a deductive approach. Straight away, I'm showing something on the screen. So for this, I don't need a 2D or a 3D or a real video. I can just go with a static image. This pedagogical approaches tells me what should I use for a remembering or very direct information which I am telling you. When it comes to understanding interpretation information, like I can say structure of the heart or the function of the heart, that is where the 3D animation is required, so that the student can understand the multidimensional structure of the heart, as well as how the heart flows from atria to the ventricles and then back to the lungs, as well as to the different parts of the body. So this pedagogical approaches make, I mean to say, focus a lot, or it has an, I mean to say, good expertise or good approach in terms of freezing what type of material should we give it to the student, and based upon that, whether it is just a definition, or you are discussing about the structure, or are you discussing about the application part of it. When it comes to application part, something like where I can say it's an a simulation, okay, or it can be an activity, okay, which can be demonstrated, or a simulation is where you can take a virtual tool and you can showcase it. So that is where your pedagogical approach comes into picture, and organizing is where need to organize this information from simple to complex. So as I said here, micro learning will be, I can say 100% the best, provided you organize the information from simple to complex. As I said here, you need to divide the complete chapter into chunks of information. Like as I said, concept 1, concept 2, concept 3, concept 4, so on. And coming to learning activities and resources. So here also, learning activities, what type of learning activities or resources you need to use. That also, it matters based upon the pedagogical approach, what you are, because these two will be interrelated, as I discussed here. When I'm giving a definition, I'll just go with a static image of an plant with an arrow showing the water is going into the roots, and then I'll show the air coming towards the leaf, and from the leaf, I'll just show the starch. That is enough for them to understand that definition of photosynthesis. Now, coming to assessment of and for learning is where we call it as formative and summative. Formative is which the assessment that you take it when you are I mean to say discussing the concepts. So when the learning is happening, the formative assessment, which you try to ask in the form of questions, it can be objective questions. When it comes to summative is where at the end of the chapter you will be asking those questions, and those is what we call as a chapter level exercise, or book back questions is what we call as a summative assessments. So I hope we have connected everything, and this is where we are saying everything affects everything, provided it has been completely entangled and utilized by the teacher to the max. Now coming to the next one, the same example, whatever we have discussed earlier in this MACVISE, right? The MACVISE 7 pillars of this micro learning to make a powerful micro learning material or a resource. This MACVISE approach is very much important. So the same example we are taking it here and saying that how it has been integrated into this web, right? Now coming to the next one is the target group. So here we need to understand who is the target group, that is grade 4. I'm just giving an example of what we have given here, who are the target group and content, everything I'm just going to give it here. So you can relate to the video that we have just now shown you. Now coming to the target group, grade 4 visual learners, that is having a short attention span is what you are under the impression, because you know the class caliber. And coming to the content, focus on 3 states of definitions and 2 examples each is what you want to focus, not more than that. What is the outcome of it is classify the matter as solid, liquid or gas. That is a learning objective that you have set it. And pedagogical approach is what you have used, an inquiry based approach, where you're asking where did the eyes go, because you have placed the eyes on the hand and you've been asking, and the same thing you're showing in the form of a video even. Organizing is where you are starting with a question and then you're giving some examples, then you're giving a quick sort activity. Just you are giving 3 bell jars and you're asking them to just pour into all of these items and identify what is. That is where the practical application is coming into picture. Practical demonstration is coming into picture. Now coming to the next one is activities or resources, where you are given this event. And assessment is where 1 solid, 1 liquid and 1 gas that they need to identify from the home. Whatever materials that they are seeing at the home, they need to identify and they need to write it. So this is how we have seen that the web of whatever we have made using that MACVISE approach, right, that has been implemented properly or not is what you are going to do a double cross check. Next. 1 second. Yes. Now coming to what are the key steps in designing effective micro learning modules. Now for the step 1 is, what do you want the learners to achieve in just a few minutes? Okay. So ask, what should learners be able to do? Keep the goal specific and measurable. Okay. So here, what is wrong in this? What is wrong in this? Is it a correct learning objective? If it is correct, fine, we'll go ahead to the next slide. If it is wrong, then we'll discuss. Is it wrong or right? Yes, very good. Nimisha, she has given saying that this is wrong. Okay. So understand is not a measurable BT verb, Bloom's taxonomy verb. So we should not use the understand. Instead, last time when I've taken the Bloom's taxonomy session, I've told you about the different BT verbs that you are need to use it, because this becomes your Bloom's taxonomy domain. Under this cognitive domain, you can see knowledge, that is remembering, understanding, applying. These are all the different levels. So understand forms at a second level. So we need to give list 3 sampling techniques in 2 minutes. That is what you can give it. If you want to give research methods, you can say state the different research methods, or describe. If you want to describe them in detail, just describe the different research methods. And that too, different research methods, my whatever learning object you have set is not giving a clear idea of what am I going to describe. That features, that characteristics are also required. Then only I can say your learning objective is complete. If not, it is incomplete, it is vague. Okay, understand climate change. This is one more. This is also wrong. The reason is this is not measurable. And here, explain 3 causes of global warming in 2 minutes. That is where it is very clear. Okay, causes of global warming. This is what I'm saying. Additional features or characters are required to understand what you want from the learner, or what you want to achieve it by the end of the class. Now coming to the next one, and here you can see even NEP, it has been saying clearly defined competencies, outcome focused curriculum. Now coming to the next one, how can you break the big ideas into small logical learnings? I'm just going a bit fast because already it's 6, I know. Right. Moving on to this, how can you break big ideas into small logical learning units? It is single idea per module, as we told, single concept, logical sequencing of small chunks. You cannot randomly play them. You need to go it in a sequence. That is where your micro learning modules will be a hit, provided you sequence them properly. And research, sampling, etc. Coming to the next one, how to focus on clear learning outcomes. Even short modules need outcomes. Make them concise, specific, and measurable. Learner can list 4 sampling methods. Okay, so here these are the learning outcomes where we are saying even short modules need the outcome, make them concise, specific, that whatever video you can make it specific and concise and measurable learning outcomes. How do you keep micro units connected and consistent? Maintain consistency in style and flow, provide clear navigation and guidance. And this is one example, which I'll be showing some of the examples here. What type of media you can showcase it to enhance your learning. You can use these videos in the form of 2D, 3D, real videos, infographics even, audio clips even, podcast, animations, interactive slides. Now, what type of micro assessment? You can go with quizzes, branching scenarios, polls, simulations. And what type of micro assessment do you use to enhance your learning? You can just give the students some points, some badges, because when you divide that into 4 groups, then you can make it ABCD on the blackboard, and you can add the pointers. That is where the students are going to learn more. What do you assess in small units? So here, immediate reinforcement, feedback when it matters, reduces the anxiety, because when we say test, obviously the tension or the fever would, or the anxiety would start for the student. So we need to reduce that. So that is the reason we are assessing in small units, not like complete chapter. So at a concept level. So immediate reinforcement, in the sense like if there is a problem with that learning, we are just making him to understand that, because the assessment is giving you that, results. And feedback whenever it is required. Now, before even going to this thing, let me show you a videos of how the micro learning. I'll be showing some videos. You yourself can say whether this is an micro or a nano learning or a traditional method. Right now, this is one which I'm going to showcase something on grade 8. I have taken the topic. Okay, I think yes, my screen is not visible. Give me a minute, guys. Can you see this now? Right. Yes. Now this is where I have just entered into an grade 8 chapter, and here we are in this friction chapter. In this you can see there are AB modules, there are activities and experiment, there are interactive activities, there are exercises inside, there is a hands-on activity and NCERT practicals content. Now let me go to the AB module. So here if you see, these are the different AB modules let me take up maybe this one, comparing the types of friction, where we have rolling friction, sliding friction, etc.
In this module, you will learn to distinguish between static, sliding, and rolling friction.
I hope the audio is audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Can
Yeah.
we remove friction completely? Removing friction completely is not possible. However, there are measures to minimize friction and make our tasks easier, and machinery more efficient. Using ball bearings in push it friction.
So this is where you have the set of examples
Sliding
given,
friction
and there is a
is
summary of
less
that
than
even
static
here.
friction.
And once that is done, then so if have you observed the timing of this video? How many minutes is it?
It's a micro learning, ma'am.
Yeah, it's 2.37, less than 3 minutes. Okay, so you can still consider that as a micro learning. Right now, I'll be showing you, this is one. Maybe we'll go with disadvantages of friction, where we can show something like real videos.
In this module, you will learn to identify cases where friction is a disadvantage. Can you hear that? The door's really creaking badly. The hinges are rusting.
So this is where you can
Problems
see
too.
this video is 1.53.
Friction is a necessity.
Less than
Nano learning.
so this we can consider as a nano learning resource. Now let us see some of the activities here given, which we have one activity on frictional force. Let me check that. So here you have a learning objective being set. As I said here, every resource should have a learning objective, and these are the materials, and here there is a procedure. See here, what is the length of this? 1.22.
Take a wooden plank covered with a white sheet of paper and remove of the sheet
I'm
glue
just
on
fast forwarding
on
it.
the table. Apply some glue on its surface. Spread sawdust on the glue and allow it to dry. Remove the extra sawdust after the gum dries up. Feel the rough surface of the sheet by moving your hand over it. Stack some books on the table. Place the wooden plank on the stack of books in an inclined position. Now, place another wooden plank covered with a white sheet against the books at the same inclination. This inclined plane has a smooth surface. Take 2 marbles and hold them at the top end of 2 inclined planes at exactly the same height. Now, release the marbles exactly at the same time. Which marble reaches the bottom first?
So this is where we have some inquiry-based questions even, and the observations being made, and what is the learning outcome is what the teacher can explain it. And in few cases, we even have the, observatory questions as well as reasoning questions, and why did it happen within the activity. That we can do it. And maybe one more, I'll take it. We have seen that is 1.22, so which is I can say a nano learning. So here is one more where the learning objective is being set here, and there is a procedure for this. So each and every resource, we should have a certain learning objective, so that we are covering each and every point without missing anything. If you see the video, it is
tray
0.33.
and place it on the table.
Okay, 30 seconds I can
Place
say.
a small ice cube, a 1 rupee coin, and a pen cap on the tray in such a way that they appear to be in the same line. Now, slowly lift the tray from one of its end where the objects are placed. What do you observe?
Yes, Amrita, do you have any query? Okay, so this is where you can see the activities of 3 minutes, 1 minute even. And now coming to the next one. So we have seen the activities, we have seen the AB modules. Let us see the interactive activities and experiment here, where we are saying a friction between different surfaces. And then you have the basic simulations here even. Let me check this. This is a FET simulation, which you can even use it. So this is where you'll place this thing. Before that, let us just click on all these parameters and keep that large or small that you can do. So you can select either this or this as well as this even. Let us do this. Now you can see here law of conservation of energy, where energy is neither created nor destroyed, because you can see the sum of these two energies is equivalent to the total energy. Right. So you can see even the speed. Now here friction is also got added in this. Okay, and that is where your thermal energy also. Earlier we have seen the kinetic and potential energy. Right now you can even see the thermal energy. That is the energy that is coming when there is a friction. So you can just make your own skating path this way. And see the movement. So now mass, let me keep it small. Friction, I'll keep it none. So this way it will be more engaging and really lively when you use this type of this thing. What happens when the friction is lost? Obviously it will come to a rest at a faster pace. When it is again, you want to use a different surface also, that you can use it here. Let me go with this again. So he's just falling on the ground. And you can see here the sum of all of these three energies is what? So when I'm placing it here, you can see that potential energy and kinetic energy is 0. When it is coming from the height towards this, you can see the kinetic energy is increasing. So this is where you can explain to the students. Right. So this is where we have this skating, and there is one more, a simulation upon the friction event, where we can even check that. So you can just keep all this on and see when friction is none and when gravity is not there and when gravity is more. And you can reduce the mass even. And if you want to see how is it happening on the moon even, that also you can check it. When the gravity is max, when the friction is a lot, obviously it will come in. When there is no friction, it will be just moving. And you can even measure at any point what is the kinetic energy. That parameter also should be there somewhere. Right. So this is how we can check on Jupiter even. You can check it. What happens when the gravity is 0. Let's see what happens when the gravity is 0. So it's just flying in the air. Okay, so this is how you can check it, and I'll show some more interactive activities from the lower grades even. So this is from the higher grade which I've taken, maybe from grade 5. This is our NG app, where next Gurukul app we have the I mean to say relevant materials of hands-on AB modules, activities and experiments, interactive activities. For example, if I go there here, you can see a joint hunt and a skeleton game even. Let me check this joint hunt. Just 2 more samples I'll show, and then we'll wind up the session. So this is where
Observe the flexibility
this is
of the
where a
CCTV
camera you
moving
can
just
check
above
it.
the door there. Then click any one joints in the human body that move in a similar manner.
So once the video is done, then it will be asking to click on any of that similar joint that you can, it will work upon, like I can say hinge joint or a ball and socket, but this is similar to a pivot joint working model, whatever they have shown the movement. So I can say, then we can see how both are being related with. You can play the video of
Observe the
that.
flexibility of the jointed metallic part on which the door moves. Then, click any two joints in the human body that move in a similar manner.
If I just click on the hinge joints, you can see how of them are animating in both in the same direction. And the same way goes with the next, that is ball and socket joint.
Observe the flexibility of the pestle in a...
So these are where you can see the ball and socket joint at the shoulder and the girdle. And this way, you have lots of simulations and activities, and maybe with respect to vitamins also, like vitamin intake meter is what we call it as. That also I'll be showing you one sample. So we all know that in the syllabus, it was given that these are the food sources that is required to avoid any deficiency of any vitamin, right? So here you can check this vitamin intake meter activity, interactive activity. And this, you can, it's an evaluation also, at the same time, learning by doing. Both the ways the teacher can use this as a resource in the classroom. So this is a concept. What is a concept? What are the instructions that the student need to follow, or the teacher need to follow when she is displaying it in the classroom? Now coming to the start activity.
Click on any one vitamin.
So there is an audio also which is coming here.
Click on the disease caused by deficiency.
So when I click on this and say submit, and then if it is right, obviously it's giving a and I mean to say suggestion here saying that you have done a good job. And then you need to identify the different sources of vitamin A, like food sources with respect to, it can be milk, it can be leafy vegetables,
any
etc.
6 rich food sources of vitamin. Then click on.
So if I click on all these items like this, okay, so the submit button is coming. So here there is a even a reflection part is also seen. Reflection is what on the, you're giving a hint in terms of this is wrong, and why is it wrong also you are giving it in terms of saying that it is not a source of vitamin A, but it is a source of vitamin B and C. Well, cashew is a source of vitamin B and K. This is what actually the student needs. Why is he gone wrong with a particular option? Then you can say show answer, move on to the next.
Drag the food items that help to overcome vitamin A
So
deficiency
here
onto the
is
plate.
where we are asking to drag the food items onto this plate, meals plate, so that whatever right now he's an inadequate, I mean to say he's deficient with that vitamin A, and that is what you can see in night blindness. When you start dropping that, we cannot say that he's recovering from this thing, but he will not lose any further vision, right? So let us see that by dropping the item. So you can see when you're dropping the item, the quantity
Drag
of
some
that
more
and
food
how much
items
of
to
nutrient
overcome
value are
vitamin
you
A
gaining it from
deficiency
that
onto the plate.
30 grams of carrot. So 0.5 milligrams. So how much is required per day? 1 gram is required. 1 gram of vitamin A is required for for children's, basically for a child. So that is the reason. Still it didn't come adequate. Now let us drop some more items, and you can see
Observe
it
what
has reached
happens
it.
when the food
So it
sources
is
are consumed
0.5
in
plus
adequate
220.
amount.
It has come to 0.7. So still you can add few more so that it reaches the 1 gram. So now you can see that there is further deterioration of the vision has been stopped. It's not like recovering or regaining. This is what you can see. And then same way, you can move on to the other vitamin.
Click on
This
any
thing.
one
So a
vitamin.
flag has come because you already have, I mean, the students or teacher would have demonstrated this in the classroom. This way it would come, then you can go ahead. Now the same thing. So this is what is taught in the classroom with respect to what are the vitamins, what are the deficiency diseases related to that. Third one is what are the food sources. But what extra are you teaching them in the classroom is that this amount of vitamin A is required per day. And second thing is that taking this quantity of an this source in mango or in milk, this much quantity, 30 grams of mango gives you 0.5 milligrams of vitamin A. This extra knowledge is also what you are sharing it to the student. The next one, so as we said here, we should not confine strictly to the book. We should even tell them that that is where they will relate it to what is it happening in their real life scenarios. Now this is one more where we are saying about identify the toxicity cause. So what happens when you eat too much? That is also toxic to the body. So this is a concept which we are discussing, and the instructions how to operate that step-by-step navigation. Now let
Click
us
on
take up the same vitamin A which we have taken there and see what happens.
Drag the food
So here
items
we are
onto the
already at
plate.
this adequate where we said stop for the deterioration of vision. So let's see what happens when we start adding them. So once we are adding it, you can see the
Drag some
quantity,
more food items
200
onto the
grams,
plate.
this one, chicken liver. It gives the maximum vitamin A
Observe what
because 5
happens when the
grams of
food
chicken liver
sources are
will give you
taken in
0.5
excessive
milligrams.
amounts.
So excess will lead to enlargement of liver. Okay, so this education or this information is what is required for the student. In the same way, you can see for the mineral intake meter and mineral excess intake meter also what happens. So this way, you have the different activities which are in line with the curriculum, plus that extra knowledge is what we need to give to them. Now coming back to this, I need to share my screen again. Give me a minute, guys. Right. We are back to this. So till here we are done with. So this is what we have already done now. What are the key steps in designing the effective micro curriculum or micro learning modules is where samples of micro learning. This is one sample where we are given a content, that is where the student is accessing it either in the classroom or you're demonstrating it, and then he responds to that. This is what we call reflection, that is where you ask some observation questions and then again he responds to that. Then again you give the content. This is where I can say chunks of information should be organized. That is module 1, module 2, module 3. If you are naming it as a module, or resource 1, resource 3. So who is creating all of that? The instructor or the teacher. Right. So this is how, this is one sample. This is one more sample where you are asking the student to demonstrate, to do some activity in the classroom. So you are creating that and you are giving it to the student. The student performs in the classroom like the way we use the science kits, right? In the same way. And then this is even performed by the learner group. A group of, means it can happen individually or it can happen in groups even. And once that is done, customized constructive feedback is what you are going to give it to the student. For example, there is a problem with the student where he is not able to perform this activity because he is not understanding the concept of maybe friction or force. So you need to give a specific customized feedback to him. But when it comes to these all people, they're at the same pace. So you don't need to give any information straight away. Their whatever feedback you are getting from them, that is good to go. Now coming to the last one is where I can say this is something like a discussion forum. Sandhya can, yeah. So this is something where the instructor is creating that discussion forum where she is giving some information. The way I said, a seminar, it can be a symposium, or you can ask them to write something, and then you will be giving a reflection quiz. Okay, so this is about how the different thing. And coming to the last pointer, that is on challenges. So technological access issue might be there when it comes to the remote places. So what to be done? So you need to use that downloaded materials. So offline, the content should be played in your laptop or on your screen, interactive panels. Because in our case, everything, whatever I've shown you, this is completely offline also. We have online also. So that can be showcased in the class. Now coming to the next one is about the motivation and self-discipline. That is where the students might lag. if the student is straight away accessing the materials through online. But if the teacher is controlling it, fine, this issue can be overcome. Or fragmentation
Yeah.
risk, so it should not be. Hello. Yes, over fragmentation risk is where you should not fragment to a level that it is very small, that we are not getting any outcome of it. So that should be taken care. Faculty training and mindset shift. So this is also more important, that the trainer or the instructor or the teacher should be trained, saying that we are getting the complete knowledge of what we call it as MACVISE approach, as well as that web designed required to say that who are the target, who are the, what pedagogical approaches are you using, and then how to organize. So all this, whatever principles that you have seen, that should be, I mean to say, properly staged. Now coming to the next one, equitable access to micro learning for all. So this is reducing the digital divide, low bandwidth options, faculty training in digital pedagogy, inclusive design for all the learners. So this is also important. So these are the challenges that we actually face it, reducing the digital divide, so that we can give something like a hands-on activities or activities even, which is mostly offline. Low bandwidth option is also one of the challenge. Faculty training in digital pedagogy, that is more important. So based on that, she knows like whether she need to go with an inductive or a deductive or a problem solving approach based upon the I mean to say, knowledge of the content. Like for example, it is, as I said here, if it's a definition, you need to go with this. If it is an explanation, you need to go with an animation. If it is something like you want to show like gravity, friction, and something that way, that is where application will come into picture, that is better to go with an simulation or interactive activities. And inclusive design for all the learners, so that also been discussed. Now these are the common misconceptions that we have it among the learners or the educators. The first myth is short content, low quality. No, quality depends upon the design, not the length of the content. And only for easy topics. No, it is even used in the advanced trainings. Lazy learners, no, it is just reducing the cognitive load theory. That's it. Yes, teachers, if you have any questions, you can ask me, because I know people are raising their hands, but as I haven't noticed at times, please apology for it. So you can ask the questions now. It's your time. Oh, I'm sorry, Shirley. I know that I have eaten off your 1.5 hours time, but obviously you'll be getting it. A feedback form will be shared. So Shankar or someone from the team, please share the feedback form. Yes, Niharika. Yes, Niharika. See, guys, I too want to end in 1 hour, but again, when it comes to example, because I don't want to take the same session next week. So when it want to end it, it should be complete. I cannot give you just only just for information. So we are, you are clueless and lost. So that is the reason of giving the complete information with examples, with videos, is where it is time consumed. And I know I've eaten half an hour of your time. I'm sorry for it. Yes, teachers, do you have any queries? If not, there is a feedback form being given in the message box. Yes, Alok, last topic, elaborate once more. Can you tell me what is the topic? Because I have missed it when you have asked it. Is it, which topic is that? Is this about this myths? This one. Alok, you there? Okay. Teachers, educators, do you have any other queries? Please let me know. And I hope the reason for displaying this content is not like just to have it as a knowledge sharing session. I want you guys to implement it in your classes so that it reaches the end user, because we know that students have very short attention span, they're getting deviated too much, and they're not self-motivated. So these tools will actually help them motivated. Right? Is it overloaded with too much of information? This has actually been implemented from 2000, I can say 23 onwards. And prior to that, it's already been implemented. If you see Next Education from 2007 onwards, we have been building the content on all these pedagogies and all this micro and nano also. The way I have shown you examples, this was not built recently. It was built in 2007 and 8 and 9. So these pedagogies and these instructional strategies we have been implementing and following in all our resources. Yes, teachers. If you are done with the session, you can, I mean to say you are done with your feedback form and you can leave the session. Yeah, WhatsApp, I don't think so. It is not possible, ma'am. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm not able to just reload the feedback form, ma'am. What to do?
Do you want me to copy it again? One second, give me a minute.
Same, I am also facing the same issue, ma'am. I am not able to open the form.
Razid, can you check it? What is the concern with this?
Yes, ma'am.
The
Kindly,
form.
dear educator, kindly check your internet or try to open in next tab. You can open that.
Just copy that link and open a new window, ma'am. Then I think it will be
Okay.
solved.
Yeah.
Not getting the links.
It is there in the chat box, ma'am. You can just take from there.
Ma'am, my question is that as you show the things, it is visible in
Chat
laptop
box
only
not
or in
getting.
mobile also?
Chat box stop.
You are saying in the classroom?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's better on the digital panel, ma'am, on the screen. That is
Okay.
that will have a more impact, because when it comes to laptop, right, the learners maybe hardly you can, maybe first benchers can see, but not about the last benchers. But when it comes to a panel, interactive flat panel or an Android TV, then it will goes into the everything. So you don't need to use a textbook there straight away. You can use the digital content and you can play it the way I have showed you, right? Completely it is made, it is organized from, I can say, tailor-made content has been designed. So where you can see the where you needed to go with an AV module, where you need to go with an simulation or with an activity, that is where it's been structured.
Okay.
So if you yourself want to prepare, you can use that YouTube videos or you can use the PPTs. And but again, some of them are not downloadable when you want to play them offline. But laptop or mobile, I don't suggest it. It's better on the bigger screen.
If we open the this content in mobile and screen mirroring in TV, then it is possible to use in mobile these icons.
Yeah, mirroring you can do. You can do
Okay.
casting, you can do mirroring.
So for all the teachers, we give only the key code, na? Then we access all the things, or we have need any other platform for that.
We don't need any, only one software is required for that casting. Some app is required. Once
Okay.
you do that, right, so you can, from there you can straight away do the screen mirroring on the TV.
Okay. Okay.
But
Thank you so
internet
much.
is required on your mobile.
Okay. Okay. No issue.
Right. Thank you everyone for being with me, and for this wonderful knowledge sharing session, and I hope you will be having a good and a wonderful evening. Yeah, bye bye and take care.